I've concluded that this is not just my world, and that's why I'm going to speak universally and as if this applies to everyone because it does. There's no way they can just contain this to my world. This is everyone's world. Maybe they haven't turned yours up like this is turned up, and this is a very controlled environment they have me in. Everyone's is different. I imagine they have mine turned up pretty high, and it's a little bubble that follows me around. It can contract and expand. Let's push play just for now. It can expand and contract. That's me just about a half hour ago sitting in Starbucks. And I felt the cold plasma. It was very uncomfortable. I feel it now. They just lightened it up a bit because, they somewhat accommodate my discomfort because for whatever reason they need to do what they need to do, and they don't. It's supposed to be stealth and non-invasive. That's the word they use in the mainstream. Non-invasive really just means undetectable to the person as they're doing it to you, and that it's a test. The code is so sick. It's really sad. I would love to if someone expounded on it and to go through it and maybe add to it. I have a few, but I'm really missing all the experts that I used to be able to turn to. It's like they've been assassinated or paywalled. At any rate, uh, it's very uncomfortable. It's not even. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't. It's just not normal. It's anomalous, and it's really psychological more than anything. Like I cannot countenance. In other words, I cannot sit and face this as it's happening and just ignore it, as apparently most people do. They just assimilate it into their daily life, and people get used to it. Namely, those who are gang stalked covertly or overtly and told every day. Like they just get used to it and they live with it for 20 years. Uh, I'm not going to do that. Not without uh, some kind of indication, outward indication, and explication and illustration of this happening to me. I just can't just shut up about it. Especially after the toll I can see that it can take. They understand the way things work in the sense that one see the AI, it's able to predict things based on certain things being in place. If X, Y, and Z is in place, then A is either definitely going to happen or likely to happen. If not, then B or C will happen. They can predict things down to the letter. If not, uh, know things. Let's just say, like, if they're basically copying, cloning real time. That's why you'll hear flange noises, and they've done this for a very long time, as far as how to clone reality and simulate it, and then even pause reality in a matter of speaking, and then show you the simulation overlay, and which they control. They can't control reality. They can control the simulation overlay, which is being recorded real time, and then can even be uh, rewound and they can extrapolate from the prior uh, activities and uh, events, and then just have the simulation be accurate while controlling it. If that makes any sense. Uh, if it doesn't, sorry about that. I don't know what to tell you. I can't explain it any more simply. But a flange noise, two records playing together, and varying in speed a little bit. That's what a flange is. They can read you with a flange. It allows for some kind of bouncing of signals, and they can read things with flange, and that flange noise is very popular in shows like uh, $6 Million Man or whatever. They knew this back then. They understood these technologies and techniques. Now, I'm sorry for blathering, bloviating, and making this longer than it has to be. 5 minutes and 36 seconds. All right, well, let's have a closer look here. This is just for posterity for me, really, but anyone who wants to, uh, in anyone who wants to investigate for themselves, it's for them too. I'm using Video Cleaner. You can get it for free at videocleaner.com. It's a very powerful tool. This is not an advertisement, a paid promotion. I don't make any money from this. I'm just a proselytizer because, well, I depend on this thing. This is very important. It shows many, many, many facets of video, and it can be forensically examined in ways I never, even beyond what I imagined. Kind of like what I imagined, though. And the fact that it's free is extraordinary. Now, 1 second. Let's zoom in. I do that reluctantly to my pretty face. Now, let's see what's happening. You see that? That's not some Snapchat lens filter, nifty little, Instagram thing. That's real. It might be a filter on top of the real thing, but just to cover it up. And that's what I recorded something earlier, and it wasn't recording. Silly me. That was my fault. See, the cover up. If this is a multi-trillion-dollar system. If it's worth, say, 4 trillion, 3 trillion of it is the cover up. They spent a lot of time, effort, money, resources. There really is no money in the black budget. A half a mil, a 4 trill. It's all the same thing, really. Theoretically, the cover up part of this module is probably more expensive than the actual module itself, or relatively approaching it, if not exceeding it. Now you see that I'm affecting this to be slow here. You see that? That's not. That's real. I can feel it. All this. See my nose? They need your nose. These people are greedy. They're getting really fucking greedy. They're getting me angry. And I wish I had Patrick Brennan's photo handy. I would show you what they look. Kind of what this one looks like. One of the ones. I found out who one of them are. There's no doubt about it. He's involved. He's a machine learner, artificial intelligence person who works at One Medical San Francisco, and everything else. There's just so many things that speak to. He's a gang stalker. His GitHub is pgrens. Patrick Brennan. He has a GitHub at pgrens. I don't know if it still shows or is even public like it was, but everything on there is like gang stalker. He should be in Gitmo. My aim is to get this motherfucker in Gitmo, not on GitHub. He got to get off GitHub and go to Gitmo. I'm sorry. Your nose. They need to be in your nose, at the back of your nose, at the base of your brain, near the olfactory. It's imperative. They have to get there. And when you expectorate, if you expectorate thoroughly, or say get a neti pot or something and clean that out, they can't do anything. And all the other stuff they have, they can't do anything. It's heavily dependent on getting into your nose. And they've been flying fibers up your nose, whether through AI or most recently with human adult male assistants. and maybe a few blue hair dykes. I say that because I don't think women would do like few women would do this. No men would do this. There's androgynous people who do this. They're not even really men. They're just say males. They have male parts, but it would take a lot. It's a different kind of female to do this. I just don't see them doing this. Not maybe compartmentalized, but not knowingly. It's an androgynous kind of human adult male that would do this. Sickos. There's a certain kind. They're real sickos. They want psychological thrillers. He told me one time, and I'm trying to make this as friendly as possible. This is the kind of shit that and listen, I understand what is real and what is not. That's why they have me like this. That's why I'm able to show. They're so egregious that this is how they have to be on me. Otherwise, it wouldn't be effective. I would get them out of me. They're hardcore on me. He told me, payday, as I was about to make love to my woman, whom is not here anymore, and I attribute her death to them, the love of my life, Chanda M. Souza. I miss her terribly. They told me that I wasn't going to be able to perform. In other ways, they made it difficult to perform, but they could never do anything. This is the erectile dysfunction people. I'm not even fucking joking. They told me that I wasn't going to be able to get inside. You're not going to get inside her, baby. And it was true. Somehow, with their artificial sphincter ability, these motherfuckers, man. These motherfuckers. They use vortex rings, air vortex rings, and they love string. He would always say, "I'm an asshole, payday. I'm just an asshole," when I would be calling him a war criminal and whatnot in my mind and aloud. I'm just an asshole. Ha ha. I didn't really understand it then. Now I do. These are artificial sphincter masters. These motherfuckers. And look, since we're getting graphic, he said I wasn't going to be able to get inside my woman, and lo and behold, it was tough. It was as if, it was as if she was a virgin, and it was really weird. That's a psychological thriller. Another time, he told me when I was in the shower to touch a certain part. Well, let's say we're the artificial sphincter masters. We're the main sphincter. We know there's many sphincters in the body that touch a certain part, as if he knew something I didn't. And lo and behold, there is a polyp there, something there that they obviously can. Well, of course they can. Look at this. Look what's going on here. You don't think that they can affect things? They have my whole body surrounded with this electric current that I'm showing you, my whole body, and even parts you cannot see. So you don't think they can cause a hemorrhoid or a polyp? Well, it makes perfect sense. Look, touch your asshole, payday. Clean your asshole. I'm in the shower now, you understand? I'm in the fucking shower. Wash your asshole, payday. And I'm thinking, like, this motherfucker, as if that's not bad enough. If that's not bad enough, when you're in the shower, and then I do, and there's something there that they put there that they can do. They're showing me what they can do, and it's like they're reveling in it. They're reveling in the fact that they can do this to people. This is a psychological thriller for them. It's torture for me. And see, you can see that there's a filter there. It's over top the real thing, though. It's mimicking the real thing. These motherfuckers really think they're going to get away with this. I happen to not be of the mind that they're going to get away with it. I see a military tribunal for these motherfuckers, and I see this thing that they have here, it's air tap, let's call it. It's the metaverse that they try to push on us. That's already here. You know that thing, how they do it? You want the metaverse? Remember Mark Zuckerberg came out? You want the metaverse? And it was rejected resoundingly. Say, keep your fucking metaverse, because it's a Trojan horse, obviously, but it's already here. It's already here. It's non-invasive, stealthy, undetectable. That's the word. Undetectable. And I see this thing relegated to a circus with ways in which to detect it. This belongs in some kind of novelty museum or something, and preferably it's like held up as something that almost took us over, and ways to avoid it in the future are written boldly and with a place you can go to find out more information about how to avoid, if signs that this thing might have come back and got. This is on you. You understand? This is the body snatcher shit they've been talking about. They've been doing this since the 50s. I don't think it's going to work out personally. Some could say it already has. Look at it. It's overtaken everyone. No one knows about it. This is on you to some extent, and you don't know about it. It's in your asshole. Light Tone Rats out.